Every person has unique skills and talents. What are yours? Mine are writing and teaching. So, tonight on the Goddess Power Show, I, Elizabeth Ann Atkins, I'm going to help you learn how you can showcase your special gifts and abilities in a book. I'm a book coach, and it's my passion and my purpose to teach so much that I've learned over the course of traveling America for many years, helping people, accomplished people, write, publish, and promote their books. I have worked with movie stars, physicians, surgeons, executives, leaders of cities, leaders of giant organizations, um, executives, people, everyday people who have amazing stories to share, especially against the odds success stories from diverse voices. I've helped a former Army Ranger who lost his legs in Afghanistan write a book about how that horrific experience became his gift as a motivational speaker. I've helped women share their stories about shattering the blackened glass ceiling. I have stacks of books of people I've helped. And now I want to help you. So on Thursday, June 17th, I want to invite you to a free webinar where you get to ask questions and learn about my book coaching program that's coming up in July. This will be the fourth version of this 6-month book coaching program with me that has already birthed 2 published authors. They include Elaine Mackes, who wrote Life, A Young Man on the Front Line, Lessons of War. This book is remarkable. She took my coaching course, she wrote the book, she applied everything I taught, and she mastered the story of her father as a soldier in World War II. It's just beautifully written, and she balances all of the grim realities of war with the beautiful moments of love and survival and strength and humor and romance even. Beautiful job. I helped Kathy Callie. She's a money coach. I helped her. She was in my program in 2020, and she wrote this book, which is now required reading in her Net Worth Club, her online course that I'm in, which is excellent. But she encapsulated all the knowledge, guidance that's required to teach that everything she teaches as a money coach. And it's really remarkable because she tells it in a very clear way that's not intimidating. And now these are 2 major messages for you. When you write a book as a business owner or a coach, you can amplify your authority. You can boost your brand. You can create new streams of income. You can create yet another credential that helps you showcase your expertise to the people who need your help. And you make it available to people all over the planet. Catherine and I, my sister Catherine and I, started Two Sisters Writing and Publishing over 5 years ago because we love to write books. And we started by publishing Catherine's 3 young adult novels, the Veronica series, which are about her experiences growing up as a biracial girl, although they're fictionalized. And the first one is called Veronica, I Heard Your Mom's Black. See, here's another message about writing a book. Catherine and I, growing up as mixed race children back in the 70s, had no role models, zero. There was no Tiger Woods, Barack Obama, Mariah Carey, Derek Jeter, the long list of mixed race people that you can look up to now and say, I want to be like them. No such case for us. We had each other and we had our passion for writing. So we both got degrees in writing. I went to Columbia University and got a master's in journalism, and Catherine got a master's in writing from the University of San Francisco. This after we were English literature majors at the University of Michigan for our undergraduate degrees. So, writing is in our blood. We grew up watching our father journal at the dining room table every night while our mother went to law school at night. So, they taught us hard work and passion for writing, chronicling daily life, recording things in words. And here we are. We've written and published 28 books in 5 years with many more to come. So I want to share some of the books I've written because that has given me the expertise to teach you as a book coach how to write, publish, and promote a book. One that I'm very proud of is I teamed up with former Detroit Mayor Dennis Archer to write Let the Future Begin. This is his memoir. It's more than 400 pages. It took 2 years to write, and I interviewed 24 plus people. So it was a lot of work, but what that helped me hone the skill of organizing tremendous amounts of content to enable you to boil down that mountain of research and knowledge that you have into those golden nuggets that will make it into the book. Because you can't put everything. And as a writer working alone, it's very difficult to pare it down and just really present the facts in a captivating manner. So that's really exciting. I was also fortunate to write the memoir of former General Motors executive Roy Roberts, who at one time was the highest ranking Black executive in the automotive industry in the world. So his story is remarkable because he was born in the Jim Crow South. He grew up in poverty and he rose to become one of the most powerful people in the automotive industry. And his book is tremendously inspiring. It shares his success story. And also, here's another thing that I bring to the table. Because there were oral histories that needed to be fleshed out in story form in the book, I took my fiction writing skills and the facts that I gained from him and his family oral historian, and I wove them all together to create really vivid scenes that happen around the turn of the century, 1900, and really takes the reader there. So that skill is really important if you're writing a memoir, a genealogy of your family, scenes where everybody's dead and you weren't there and nobody's around to tell you what really happened. So that's how I can teach you how to recreate those scenes in a way that's realistic and engaging. So another book I love is My Name is Steve Delano Bullock by Steve Bullock. He was also born in the Jim Crow South, and he rose to become a global humanitarian, sharecropper's son to first interim Black president of the American Red Cross. Remarkable story. He too shares his success secrets. And again, as a book, I was his ghostwriter as I was for Mayor Archer and Roy Roberts. But for this book, it was also about organizing a tremendous amount of content that I gleaned from him, interviews, and research. So I teach you as a book coach how to do that and how to weave it all together in a way that's really interesting. Now, here's a fascinating story that also is an important aspect of book coaching. Dr. Herman Williams came to me we met on LinkedIn actually, and he asked me to be his book coach. He had written a portion of this memoir about how he dropped dead at age 31 and then survived to tell about it and write about it in a book. So he had written a portion of it, but it was very academic and he admitted it was boring. And so I started to coach him, but then he realized, I don't even want to write this book. I want you to write this book. So he hired me as his ghostwriter and I wrote the story. And again, utilizing those fiction skills to create captivating scenes about when he collapsed on the gymnasium floor and was CPR was performed on him, the grueling recovery process, etc. So that was really powerful. This also is an example of how you can write sort of a how-to memoir. It shares his story, and then it shares the steps you can use to improve your life. So for him specifically, he talks about if you survive a catastrophic illness, how do you find your joy, fulfillment, pleasure in life? So he created something called the kindness scale, which is in the book. And he uses this as a consultant in the hospital as an executive in the hospital industry to teach people how to incorporate acts of kindness into their day that can range on the scale from something as simple as a smile to a stranger to actually donating a kidney to someone to save their life or an organ. So, really powerful content here, really important. Um, if you saw the show last night, I interviewed the 5 authors of The Energy Within Us, 5 amazing executives who shattered the blackened glass ceiling. And this book is really important because it shows 5 women, highly accomplished, coming together to share their stories in one book. So Catherine and I were able to help them um, polish their stories. They wrote them themselves, and we compiled them together in this book. So that's another example of what type of book you could write, and I could coach you through the process. Let's see. Al Allen, he is a very respected and celebrated journalist here in Detroit. He retired and he wrote his book. And his book is uniquely his. It's written in a very unique style, and we published it. He wrote it, we edited it. And again, example of do your thing your way. Very small book. People told him to write a bigger book. He didn't want to. And this is him. This picture exemplifies him out in the snow, telling the news, telling the weather, doing his thing that made him a beloved icon in Detroit. So let's see. Oh, yes, Mort Meisner. He's a former TV news executive turned TV news talent agent. His book is Enough to Be Dangerous. He wrote it, we published it, I edited it, and it's awesome. He was actually on Extra, and this is another example of telling your story your way because he does not sugarcoat anything. Racism, sexism, drug addiction, rock and roll stuff. It's all in here, raw and real. So, again, another example of how you write your book your way, and I help you do it. It's really exciting. I also wrote a novel with Billy Dee Williams, the actor. It's really big. And it's a lush love story about a couple in Brazil and Los Angeles. It's a thriller, a romantic thriller. It's got all kinds of juicy romance and all kinds of suspense and danger and fear and a stalker and all kinds of stuff. So I love collaborating with people who have brilliant ideas like Billy brought to the table. And we really had a great time writing and publishing this book. Let's see. One of my novels, another novel. So I write fiction and nonfiction, memoir, novels, how to, um, you name it, I've written it. And with a master's in journalism and experience at newspapers, it really gives the background and the experience to write anything. And so this is one of my favorite books. It's a suspenseful romantic thriller about a woman who's passing for white. It was first published by St. Martin's Press in New York, and then we did the second edition, publishing at Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, with a different cover and an updated look. And the point is that I've been published by New York publishers. I have a self-published version of this, and then our company, which is a hybrid publisher, published it. So when I coach you, I can share the experience and the guidance that you need to understand about all 3 of the main ways to get published: self-publishing, hybrid publishing, and traditional publishing. And so, really exciting. Now, Catherine and I have been bugging our mother for a long time to write her book, and she finally did. The Triumph of Rosemary, a memoir. She wrote it her way. We did not help her write it, but we did edit it and we published it. So she designed her own cover to her liking. And again, another example of doing your book your way, which I can guide you to do. So most recently, we published Life Along the Applegate Trail by Linda Lockhart, which is an amazing book, a tale of grit and determination about her experience on the Applegate Trail, which is in Oregon or leads to Oregon, like the Oregon Trail. She actually did a reenactment of it, and she was inspired to write a novel based on that experience. So I edited this awesome book, which is for sale now, as all of these are. And it's another example of how you can take a factual experience and turn it into fiction. So I can guide you on that route as well. You can see there's so many options and it can be overwhelming, but you have to decide what's right for you. And I'm all about the uniqueness of your storytelling. The book I'm writing right now, my new book coming out, my Goddess book, is so unique. I just totally made up my own genre. It's really fun. So you have the freedom to do that. I mean, so then I also wrote a book for a family that was on The Biggest Loser on NBC. They lost 800 pounds, two sons, a wife, and a husband. The husband and oldest son were on the show, and they made it like to almost be the top winners. And so I wrote their memoir for them. This was published by Plume, a major publisher, and which is part of Penguin. And so I was their writer for that book deal by a major publisher. And it's just a remarkably inspiring story. Also wrote a book for a plastic surgeon called Confessions of a Plastic Surgeon, shocking stories about enhancing butts, boobs, and beauty. So Catherine and I actually went to Texas and hung out with Dr. Genevieve in his operating room and watched him perform boob jobs, butt lifts, liposuction, mommy makeovers, you name it, he did it. And it's amazing. The results are incredible. So we also interviewed women and men who he has performed his surgeries on and how happy they are. And so that's another example of taking a real life experience from your career and making it into a book, which amplifies your brand and showcases who you are and what you do. Catherine and I also have a power journal workbooks that we invented. Power journal is what I call the method that I created of combining journaling and meditation. So I combine these two things. It's been transformative for me, but it also helps you figure out yourself. So this is a 28-day challenge basically of self-discovery. And we also have one for weight loss, which is about figuring out why a person has challenges with food and fat. And that's based on my own experience of losing 100 pounds and embarking on a super healthy lifestyle. So my memoir is a spiritual book. God's Answer is No, KNOW, Lessons from a Spiritual Life. I talk about how I meditate, how I had a spiritual awakening, how I now, after this show, I'm going to be leading people across America in meditation, how I love spirituality, and I'm on a mission to teach what I call Spirituality 101 for those of you who might not know what a chakra is, or might not know what a shamanic journey is, or what things you can do in a day to make you feel better and connect with that divine power within yourself, which can help you write. That's why my coaching program includes meditation if you want that, only if you want that. It's my book coaching program is not spiritual, but if you want meditation that can help you relax and go within and find that divine voice within yourself that is where your creative genius lies, I can help you get there. I also like to write steamy erotica. So if you're writing tasteful erotica with a purpose, which is what Husbands Incorporated is all about, it's my fantasy company that provides fantasy marriages for women. And I published it under my pen name, Sasha Maxwell, and it's the first of a trilogy. I can help you create a fantastical novel or a trilogy as well. There's lots of characters in this book, lots of settings, lots of drama. And so my job was to organize it all and make it very delectable, which I succeeded at doing based on all the people who keep asking me, when is book 2 coming out? So I just show this to you to express the broad base of writing skills that I bring to the table as a book coach. So I want to share with you what you get. First, please join me on Thursday, June 17th at noon. I will put the link in the description box for you to register for the free informational webinar where you can learn more about my book coaching program. So, first, I am a private book coach where you can spend an hour with me once or multiple sessions. We can decide what you need, and I help you focus your topic, outline your book, get a schedule going, get some accountability, because when you invest in a coach, you're investing time, money, commitment, and you finally want to get this done. So, just like if you invest in a personal trainer, you're going to show up at the gym, you're going to do the workout because you paid, you committed, and you're finally ready to do it. So, I will put the link here for private coaching here as well. And then my group coaching program is what starts in July. We meet for 6 months, during which I teach you everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote your book. We meet on the last Wednesday of the month for 1 hour. You get a 30-minute private session with me each month. And I'm expanding the program. That's coming up soon, and I'll announce all the extra goodies that you get when you sign up. So I have a special price that's between now and July 1st if you sign up for my group book coaching program. And if you sign up before July 1st, you get that special discount, but the price will go up July 1st. So please mark your calendar for June 17th to attend my free informational webinar at noon Eastern Time. And it's on Zoom, and I'm going to put the registration link in the description box, along with links to learn more about my group book coaching program as well as my private book coaching program. I love writing and I love helping. I love sharing the expertise, the experience, and the excitement that I feel around writing. So please join me. I would love to help you finally write your book and bring it out into the world to, first of all, feel that tremendous sense of fulfillment. Secondly, to share your expertise, boost your brand, amplify your authority in your field. Third, fourth, write your memoir, preserve your life's legacy on the pages of a book for your family and anybody else who wants to read it. You don't even have to publish it. You should just write down your story, because if the pandemic showed us anything, it showed us that life is uncertain. And once someone is gone, sadly, their story in their words goes with them. So they need to write it. You need to write your story and write the stories of your loved ones who are older before they're not here anymore to tell the story their way. Now, oral histories are a big part of many cultures. And so you should sit down with that person who's the oral historian of the family. Use a recorder, use your phone app, the recording function, and just listen, talk, do it on video, get them talking, telling stories. Even if you don't write the book right now, get it down on video, audio, or notes. And write the whole, like if you take notes, you need to transcribe it. You need to get it in their words because everybody talks in a different way. So I highly recommend that. If you're writing a novel, I can help you as well. If you're writing a combination of a personal story woven into a how-to book because you tell your personal testimonial to showcase your expertise, like you're the authority on that topic, and like Dr. Williams with his cardiac arrest story and his kindness scale. So very important to showcase who you are to your readers so they can understand that you have the expertise and authority to talk and teach on that topic. So, I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins. I'm super excited to serve as your book coach if you so desire. So, please check out the links in the description box, learn more about my private and group book coaching programs, as well as register for my webinar that's free on Zoom Thursday, June 17th at noon Eastern Time. I will see you there, and I look forward to getting any comments, questions. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you can learn more about writing your book. Now, what's that got to do with the Goddess Power Show? Every goddess needs to write her book because whether you're in business or you're just a badass woman, you need to write your book because it's you. And something really magical happens when you write your book. It's a mirror into yourself now and into your past. And it enables you to identify habits, thought patterns, behaviors that are no longer serving you. And when I did that for my memoir, I was so mad that I'd wasted time on certain things. So I actually, in the middle of writing this book, I spent an afternoon writing out all the things I wanted to forgive, release, heal, stop, and not carry forward into my future. And guess what? It worked. But had I not been writing my memoir, I don't know that I would have stopped to reflect and realize all that I had been doing to waste so much precious time over so many years. So that's a huge, huge, huge benefit to writing your memoir. And every woman, every person needs to stop and reflect on where have I been? Where am I now? And if I keep doing all that, where am I going? Am I where I want to be? And am I headed toward that a better place or not? And if the answer is no, you have to take action. And that's what I did because once I released all that stuff, this bizarre spaciousness, like it's amazing spaciousness in my mind, like all this stuff cleared out regret, guilt, worry, shame, stuff gone. And that's why I've been able to start all these shows during the pandemic. I've been writing like a monster the whole time, and it's been amazing because I cleared it out. And the act of writing my book was the catalyst for that. So, if no other thing that I've said for the past 30 minutes inspires you to write your book, let that be it. There's something really big in there for you. And it's self-discovery, it's self-empowerment, and it's pure magic. So, thank you for joining me tonight on the Goddess Power Show. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and I'm on a mission to help you write your book. So, please join me. All the stuff I just said about the webinar, my links, my website where you can see the programs, and I hope to see you there. So, meanwhile, please do follow me on Twitter at Elizabeth Atkins. And remember, boss up, goddess. You have the power. I'll see you next time.